A stadium. 80,000 people. Not one of them is looking at the clock. Cameras drift across the stands, faces frozen in anticipation, children with flags painted on their cheeks, old men who once watched Pele and Zidane, all of them arguing about the same thing. Messi or Ronaldo? This question echoed in bars across Buenos Aires and on the streets of Lisbon. It divided families, it ended friendships, united strangers in arguments that lasted until dawn. Almost nobody ever stopped to ask the real question. Why did the entire world start making this comparison in the first place? The answer is not simply the story of two footballers. It is the story of what football was missing, and how two completely different men filled that void, each in his own way. To understand why, we need to go back to the early 2000s. The great names of the 90s were fading. Zidane was playing his final season. The Brazilian Ronaldo was losing his battle with injuries. World football stood before a question every era asks after greatness. Who now? Fans wanted a new king. The media wanted a new narrative. And at precisely this moment, as if scripted, two figures stepped onto the stage. One built himself. The other was simply born. Cristiano Ronaldo arrived at Manchester United in 2003, 17 years old, wide-eyed, and burning with something that had no name yet. He was not the most talented player in that squad. He was not even close. But every single day, while others rested, he stayed. While others ate, he trained. While others slept, he thought about the next session. His teammates at United spoke about it years later, almost with disbelief. They said, "We have never seen anyone work like that. Not before. Not since." Messi, at the same age, was doing something entirely different at Barcelona. He was not working harder than everyone else. He was simply seeing things nobody else could see. Spaces that did not exist yet. Passes that arrived before the receiver had even moved. His coach at the time said something that stayed with people for years. Coaching Messi is simple. You just make sure nobody gets in his way. Two players. Two completely opposite approaches to the same game. And the world could not look away from either of them. By 2008, the comparison was no longer optional. It was inevitable. Ronaldo won his first Ballon d'Or that year. 42 goals in a single season. Champions League trophy with Manchester United. He stood on that stage in Paris and said, quietly, but clearly, "I want more." Messi watched. And then responded, not with words, but with football. The following season, under Guardiola's Barcelona, Leo produced something the game had rarely seen. He did not just score goals. He destroyed entire defensive systems, alone, in real time, while the match was still happening. Opponents would prepare for weeks to stop him. Then the first whistle blew, and within minutes their plans were already gone. The Ballon d'Or race began, and it became personal, not between the two players, but between their supporters. Every award felt like a verdict. Every season felt like a court case with no judge and no final ruling. Ronaldo won. Messi fans found a reason it was wrong. Messi won. Ronaldo fans found a reason it was unfair. The debate never cooled. It only got louder. Then came El Clásico, and the rivalry found its stage. Real Madrid signed Ronaldo in 2009 for €100 million. Now the two greatest players on earth were face to face, twice a year, on the biggest stage in club football. Between 2009 and 2017, they played El Clásico more than 30 times. Every match felt like the world had paused to watch. Ronaldo scored, Messi answered. Messi scored, Ronaldo answered. It was not a rivalry anymore. It was a conversation conducted entirely in goals. But one evening went beyond all of it. April 2011. Champions League semi-final at the Bernabeu. Messi received the ball, beat one defender, then a second, then a third, and placed it perfectly into the corner. 70,000 Real Madrid supporters rose to their feet and applauded the opponent at their own stadium for their rival's player. That was the moment the world understood. Something bigger than football was happening here. But the comparison was never just about goals. It was about two completely different ideas of what greatness actually means. Ronaldo's entire career was built on one belief, that nothing is impossible if you are willing to outwork everyone else. He was not born the most gifted player on the pitch. He chose to become the most prepared. Every weakness he identified in himself, he eliminated. Every criticism thrown at him became fuel. By 30, his body was not natural anymore. It was engineered through years of obsession. Messi operated from a completely different place. He never seemed to be trying. That was the most frightening thing about him. While defenders were still deciding which way to move, Messi had already gone. There was no visible effort, no strain, just a quiet, devastating certainty. One man proved greatness can be constructed. The other proved that sometimes it simply arrives. Then came the question that haunted both of them: the national team. For Ronaldo, Portugal was a small country. He carried them almost alone for over a decade, and still the critics said he could not win when it truly mattered. For Messi, the weight was heavier. Argentina had Maradona, and Leo was supposed to be his heir, but finals kept slipping away. 3 Copa America finals, all lost. The 2014 World Cup final against Germany, lost in extra time. Messi stood on that pitch holding the award for the tournament's best player and looked like a man who would have given it all back for the one thing he didn't have. The critics grew louder every year, and then came Qatar 2022. Ronaldo gave everything, but Morocco stopped Portugal in the quarterfinals. After the whistle, a camera caught Cristiano in the tunnel. Tears, alone, not hiding. The world did not see a superstar in that moment. It saw a man who understood this chance may never come again. Ronaldo never won the World Cup. Then Messi stepped forward. December 18th, 2022. The final, Argentina versus France. 2 goals up, France came back. Extra time. More goals, penalties. Messi placed the ball on the spot. All of Argentina stopped breathing. He struck. Goal. When the final penalty went in, Messi did not run. He did not scream. He simply dropped to his knees. Quietly, as though something he had carried for 20 years had finally been allowed to go. So who is the GOAT? Here's the honest answer. If greatness is about records, Ronaldo holds the all-time scoring record in men's football. Over 900 goals, 5 Champions League titles, trophies across 4 different leagues in 4 different countries. If greatness is about the Ballon d'Or, Messi won it 8 times, more than any player in history. If greatness means winning everything, Messi's 2022 World Cup gave him the final missing piece. World Cup, Copa America, Champions League, Ballon d'Or, the complete set. If greatness means defying every limit through sheer will, Ronaldo's story is unmatched. A boy from a poor family on a small island who decided he would be the best in the world and became exactly that. Both arguments are undefeatable because they are not measuring the same thing. For 20 years, these 2 men raised football to a level the sport had never seen. Every record one broke made the other work harder. Every trophy one won made the other hungrier. They did not just compete, they made each other greater. The world compared them because the world was lucky enough to watch them together at the same time for 2 full decades. That does not happen twice. Some rivalries end. This one became history.